Hey, Nat, first things first, your own injury. We heard a bit of back. We've heard a bit of shoulder.
Retirement lap at some stage in the next week or two.
Who was offering that up?
Pete Sumich was saying that the shoulder might be no good, Nat. Can you just put us all at ease and clarify that we're going to see you play AFL football again soon?
Written me off, has he? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, look, it was really disappointing to cop the back after doing all that work to get back for the shoulder, but that seems to be how things go in this business sometimes. I just stirred my a disc up down in the bottom of my lumbar spine, so I had to have a little operation on Saturday. That went really smoothly. I'm up walking around already. And I hopefully will start running within 2 weeks and look to be playing in somewhere around 6 weeks, but these things are a bit subjective based on the individual, but shoulder's fine, back will recover fully, and I'll be playing footy this year for sure.
Happy days. Well, that is good news. So have you got, like, now that you've had this surgery, have you got any more idea on the time frame? Do you think it's 4 weeks, 6 weeks? Any thoughts?
No one's given me any time frames, because as soon as you put that out there and you miss it, there's disappointment. So, look, it's day by day. I'm working on a rough figure of 6. But with backs, anyone that's had backs, and I've spoken to Matthew Pavlich extensively about this, you have to really respect them, because we don't want any other lingering problems to occur in and around the spine. It's a pretty important area.
Oh, I've got a back injury, Baz. The old Shagger's back from the old days. But, hey, Nat, the Derby this weekend, disappointing game for Fremantle on the weekend, v St Kilda. What did you guys take out of that loss?
Yeah, we were sloppy. St Kilda really came to play, and they beat us up around the ball. We have no answers for Max King. So we'll jump in today and review it. We've got to be a more professional outfit when the momentum is against us, which we saw last week against Adelaide and then again on the weekend. But we're going to have to bounce quickly. West Coast are dealing with their own adversities and troubles around COVID, and we've got to deal with the same restrictions this week just to try and find enough players to put out on the park. But we've got some areas of improvement, particularly in and around the contest, that we'll work on this week.
I'll ask you about what happened with West Coast in just a moment. Interesting, you talked obviously about your rehab, Nat. We know you've been using the TheraBody, including the TheraGun. Sean, our in-studio producer, he loves the equipment and swears by it.
Fyfe, I use it every day. Can't go to sleep with that. About 5 minutes with the TheraGun Mini.
Love hearing that. It's a pretty good product. Like, I saw it being used by global athletes about 2.5 years ago. So I got my hands on one and started using it. And then when TheraBody came to me and said, we want you to come on as an athlete, I was pretty excited, because they're putting together some world-class athletes. Ronaldo's on board, John Florence is on board. So they've got a talented pool of athletes that really value prep, and I love really focusing on prep and the gun and the boots and the stim machines and all the gear that they provide. Yeah, that's going to get me over this back injury for sure.
Well, that is good news. None of them have got 2 Brownlows either, Fyfe. So you're still in exclusive company if you all get together.
Good point.
I did want to ask you, there's been a lot of commentary about what happened with West Coast and the top-up players, and whether perhaps that game could have been postponed or rescheduled for later in the season, find a gap for it, that sort of thing. Well, what was your view?
Oh, this is a difficult one to wade into. Everyone's trying as hard as they can, aren't they? Gil said games are going to go ahead. They need to go ahead. And I think that they found a way to make the game happen and keep the momentum of the season going. I seem to think that is the best that we can do given the information that we've got. We can't just stop and pause. We have these supplementary lists, so if these situations do happen, we've got a backup plan. And we got to see guys like Steph Giro run around in the AFL, which is the upside of it. Let's hope that...
Prelim final, mate?
With the... What's that question mean?
With COVID?
If it happened, yeah, that's a good point. So if it happened really late in the season and, maybe it's a grand final or a prelim.
Yeah, well, ask me the week of, and then I'll have more information to answer that one.
Yeah, good point. Nat, the TheraBody, we can get it, we know, at therabody.com, and there's more info there. So 6 weeks we've got you down for, but without building too much expectation. Is that about... We're right to sort of communicate it that way?
Yeah, I think that's about right, but don't be surprised if it's 4 and don't be surprised if it's 10.
That's what we like to hear.
What about with the top-up lists? With Hamish Brayshaw on the weekend, he's listed with Fremantle as a top-up player and would love the opportunity to play with Andy if it popped up, the brother connection.
That would be something, wouldn't it? So I guess that's the opportunity that footballers are experiencing. It was terrific to see some of those West Coast top-ups get that chance.
There's unique stories bopping up all over the place, and that's the upside of it. But as quickly as we can resume normal and get back to everyone putting out their best team, that's the best thing for the game.
Normal transmission, good for everyone, including for the captain of Fremantle. Nat, good luck to the boys in the Derby this week. We know you won't be out there. The Therabody's going to get you out there pretty quick. Smart, though, that is for sure. You're in good company, and thank you for joining us on Triple M this morning. Go well, mate.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Nat Fyfe, captain of the Fremantle Dockers.